Yes. Hi everyone, today our group number 6 wants to share the story of Anna. She is a 12 years old girl who recently moved from her home country to Canada. Imagine being 12 in a new country and not knowing that language. Right now, Anna is in the early production stage. This is a very specific moment in language acquisition. She can follow simple daily instructions like please sit down or open your book on page 10. And she recognizes familiar words, and however, she struggles to speak in full sentences. In class, she stays quiet and use gestures. For example, if she wants a pencil, she points at in states of asking. And it is important to understand the difference between her linguistic competence, which is the unconscious knowledge she is building in her brain, and her linguistic performance, which is what she can actually produce. And Anna's performance is limited because she is still absorbing the environment, and but her competence is growing every day. She understands more than she says, and that is a normal part of the process. And now tell me what do you think, Karen, as an expert?
Thank you, Naim. To help Anna, we need to look at Steven Pressure theory. One of the most important concepts for us as future teachers is the difference between acquisitions and learning. Think about how you learned your first language. You didn't study grammar books as a baby. You acquired it naturally by listening to your parents. That is acquisition and naturally subconscious process. On the other hand, learning is what we do when we study grammar books and try to memorize verbs. In Anna's case, she is trying to acquire English through communication in her new school. She isn't just learning a subject, she's living the language. Our goal isn't to make her memorize a list of verbs, but to help her acquire the language naturally, focusing on the meaning of the messages rather than just the form of the words.
Building on what Karen said, we have to talk about how acquisition happens. Crushing explained this with the input hypothesis. Anna needs what we call comprehensible input, or I plus 1. What does this mean? The I is on a current level, and the plus 1 is the new information that is just a little bit more difficult if we speak to her in very complex in English. She will feel lost. But if we use simple language, pictures, and slow speech, she can understand the message and progress. Also, we have to respect the natural order hypothesis. This means that all students acquire grammar in a specific order. For example, people usually learn the ing ending before they learn the s for the third person. We cannot force Anna to use perfect grammar today because her brain has a natural style. We need to patient and give her the right input at the right time.
I totally agree with you, Carol, but there is a big problem for Anna, and that is her affective filter. This is my favorite part of the theory because it explains the emotional side of learning. The affective filter is like an invisible wall on our brain. When we are happy, motivated, and confident, the wall is low and the language goes inside our acquisition device. But Anna is feeling nervous, shy, and worried about making mistakes. This makes her affective filter very high, and when she tries to speak and feels anxious, the wall goes up. And even if the input is good, she can process it. Anna prefers precision over fluency right now. She is so afraid and being wrong that she prefers to stay silent. And in my opinion, our most important job is to lower that wall. We need to make Anna feel safe, tell her that mistakes are okay, and show that we value her effort. If she feels loved and supported, her filter will drop and her English will start to flow.
So how do we practically lower that while and provide the right input? We have designed three strategies for Anna. First, we will use visual and real objects. If we are talking about fruit, we show here an apple. This makes the input comprehensible without translations. Second, we will provide sentence frames. Instead of asking her difficult questions, we give her a base like, in my country, the weather is. This gives her a monitor or a little map to follow so she feels more confident speaking. Finally, we will use peer support. We will pair Anna with a friendly classmate who can help her in small groups. Speaking to one friend is much less scary than speaking to the whole class. These strategies focus on communication. We want Anna to go for meeting and realize that she can communicate even if her grammar isn't perfect yet, and this will slowly build her self-esteem.
To conclude our presentation, let's look at what is happening inside Anna's brain. Everything we mentioned has a biological base. Most language processing happens in the left hemisphere. When Anna hears her teacher, her Wernicke's area, he's working hard to process the sounds and understand the meaning. When she tries to answer, her Broca's area is responsible for the motor functions of speech. These two areas are connected by bridge called the arcuate fasciculus. This language loop is like a muscle that Anna is training every day. Right now, her understanding center unique is stronger than her speaking center Broca. By using the strategies Jennifer mentioned and lowering the affective filter as Ruth explained, we are helping those brain connections become stronger. Eventually, Anna will move from single words to full sentence and her two languages will live together in her brain. Thank you for listening to our analysis.
Thank you, Johanna.